Hello and welcome. Well, when I first started doing the intros of these shows, I thought it would make it look a little bit more professional. Like my show's professional. But it seems like any time lately, I don't have time to talk about anything in the intros. So let's get right to what's going on at the New York Auto Show. First up on the list is a picture of the brand new 2014 Jeep Cherokee. Now, we showed off this car a 3 months ago, and now it makes its official debut at the New York Auto Show. And we've actually got powertrain options for this vehicle. It can come with the base 2.4 liter Tiger Shark 4-cylinder, putting out 184 brake horsepower and 171 pounds-feet of torque. Or you can jump up to the 3.2 liter Pentastar V6, putting out 271 brake horsepower and 239 pounds-feet of torque. Now, both of these will be mated up with a 9-speed automatic transmission, and actually for the Pentastar, it can tow up to 4,600 pounds, which is not bad for a vehicle in this class. Land Rover took off the wraps of the brand new Range Rover Sport at the New York Auto Show. Now, this vehicle has changed quite a bit from the actual Range Rover to the Sport version. The Sport version is actually 6 inches shorter in overall length and 2 inches lower in height. The vehicle also loses 99 pounds and gets a brand new 4.4 liter turbo diesel, putting out 339 brake horsepower, and it's got 2 other diesel variants when it comes to this vehicle. But come on, if you're going to buy a Range Rover Sport, you want the horsepower, don't you? Well, it comes base with a 3-liter supercharged V6, putting out 340 brake horsepower, or the Big Daddy, the 5-liter V8, that's also supercharged, putting out 510 brake horsepower. This vehicle also, all these engines actually go through an 8-speed automatic transmission. No word on pricing on this vehicle, at least as of yet, but it will be in dealer showrooms soon. Next up, this is the brand new Cadillac CTS. And yeah, it looks a lot like the ATS, so I think or at least Cadillac is going to after BMW, as they're just going to build a standard version of a vehicle and then just make bigger variants of it. As they're actually take a little strike towards BMW, claiming the brand new ATS, or CTS I should say. See, there I go. The CTS is actually 300 pounds lighter than the standard BMW 5 Series going out on sale now. Now, this vehicle does have a lot of changes in it. It's got 5 inches longer overall, actually, in the total length of the vehicle over the outgoing CTS. Also, 1.2 inches longer in wheelbase. The cowl height and actual roof height actually change as well, as they're an inch lower, which kind of gives it a little bit of a sleek look to it. Now, all we know as far as powertrain is that it is going to get an 8-speed automatic transmission and that 3.6 liter twin turbo V6 that we talked about a couple of shows ago. Other than that, nothing new, real new coming out of this vehicle, but we'll keep you in tune when it comes to us. Next up on the list, this is probably one of the best looking cars at the auto show out there. The brand new A3 from Audi. And the amount of actual powertrain options is immense. This thing's going to get a plug-in hybrid version. You're going to get a 2-liter turbo diesel option that puts out 150 brake horsepower. And also a 1.8-liter gasoline engine that's going to be putting out 170 brake horsepower. All these will be fitted through a 6-speed automatic transmission, along with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that haven't let the numbers get out, at least not yet. That's going to be going into the S3. And like I said, we don't have any horsepower numbers on this or what it's going to be put out, but I do know that you will get a manual transmission option, a 6-speed manual transmission option. We'll keep you in tune on this deal. No talk about what this thing's going to cost, at least not yet. And there's actually a couple of more variants coming out soon, so we'll keep you in tune when they come about. Next up on the list is the picture of last generation's Regal, the new Regal that came out. Well, they got a refresh version of it showing off at the New York Auto Show, and the standard Regal is just kind of standard. So let's talk about the good one. Let's talk about the GS. Now, I was super excited when the GS was supposed to come to the States, because it was supposed to be like the Opel Ampera or the VX6, I think it was called, the hot rod version overseas, which got a twin turbocharged V6, all-wheel drive and a 6-speed manual. Well, we got a 4-cylinder turbocharged. It did put 270 brake horsepower, but it only went through the front wheels. Did get a manual transmission, though, but it still wasn't as great as it could have been. Well, huzzah, now we get the good stuff. The all-wheel drive option will be coming in all Regal models, including the GS. Now, the only manual transmission option will be obviously the GS, and sadly, we're going to lose a little bit of horsepower. The 270 brake horsepower that you got from the 2-liter Turbo 4 is now going down to 259 brake horsepower, and they claim that you can't tell the difference in 11 extra horsepower, but I bet with that all-wheel drive system and the advanced braking system they're putting in this thing, I bet you could tell the difference in between the two of them. But nonetheless, we're still going to get a little bit closer to the hot rod version that they get over in Europe. Next up on the list, Chevrolet took off the braps of the brand new 2014 Chevrolet Camaro. Now, obviously, it's not all new. It just really gets a big change in the nose area, which I actually think is a change for the good. It's pretty good looking. Now, everything else pretty much remains the same, including the 6.2-liter V8 that comes in the SS version. They'll put out 426 brake horsepower. You also get a 6-speed manual, 6-speed automatic, and there's talk that the automatic actually gets detuned to 400 brake horsepower. But there is a better version of this, at least showing off the New York Auto Show, as finally the brand new Chevrolet Camaro Z28 makes its official debut. This thing has got tons of stuff going on in this thing. Complete aero package, brand new set of 19-inch wheels with carbon ceramic discs and carbon ceramic brake pads. This thing has gone on the Atkins in a big way. Almost 300 pounds of weight have been shaved off of this automobile, including some stuff you probably wouldn't want them to shave, like the air conditioning. But, needless to say, this thing will be coming only in manual transmission only, which really speaks to me. Also, this piece of resistance, at least as far as this vehicle is concerned, it gets the 7-liter Z06 engine out of the Chevrolet Corvette, but it does come with a little horsepower, at least detuned a little bit. You lose 5 horsepower. It only put out 500 brake horsepower and 470 pounds-feet of torque, but it's a pretty sweet piece of kit. Can't wait to see what this car is going to go up against its competition, namely some of the Mustangs that are out right now. Next up on the list, speaking of Ford, well, a lot of you may know about the Ford Raptor. It's basically a turnkey car that you can buy from Ford, and you can actually have your own pre-runner with Fox shocks on it, lots of wheel travel. Thing's pretty serious, but apparently there's been a company that's actually been looking at this, and the company is Ram. Ram is actually looking over Ford's shoulder. When Raptor came out, they actually built this particular version, which was called the Ramrunner, which was actually a Mopar option of parts list, but the trick was it was pretty expensive. You could buy a Raptor for under 50 grand, but shoot, once you buy your brand new Ram, it's going to cost you an extra $20,000 just in parts and pieces. And that's if you put it together, not if your dealership puts it together, to make yourself an off-road racer. Well, apparently Ram has actually been looking at Ford, seeing how the Raptor's doing sales-wise, and if it does well enough, they think they want to get in on the action too. And you may be able to buy a turnkey Ram with heavy-duty suspension and all the big, wide wheels and tires and flared fenders, all the good stuff. So I can't wait to see if this actually comes to be. I'll keep you in tune if it does. And if you want to flip on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes as you can go over and check out some of the stuff we do over there. And also you can subscribe to the show at any time, get the first dibs on the shows as soon as they come out. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.